What up, people of the internet? It is your boy Spokes the Plug here, back with another video. And today, we're talking about Stray. If you guys are unaware, just recently came out a few days ago. Stray, kind of a third person, I'd say, adventure game where you play as a little feline protagonist, which I will be referring to as Roscoe, because I had a cat named Roscoe once. Guys, I am going into this scriptless. I literally, I beat the game not too long ago, making the video a few days after the fact, but still kind of fresh on you guys' mind. Stray was great. It broke me in ways that I didn't think a game like this could, and it isn't that long. I think that's what makes it so different. Like it doesn't stretch itself out. Like it kind of stays in its lane a bit, you know. I beat it in a little over 5 hours, which is like the recommended kind of the estimated time it says it will take to beat this game. 5 to 6 hours. I beat it, and guys, like, this game is great. Gonna go into this kind of saying I should have wrote some footnotes down, but I just really wanted to talk about it because this game is without a doubt a strong contender for Game of the Year. You know, first of all, I want to say I'm lucky because this game, if you aren't aware and you want it, it is included in the PlayStation Premium packs. I'm not sure about Extra, but I fortunately have PlayStation Premium, and I got the game for free. I was gonna buy it regardless. It's only $29.99, $30, but I got it for free, and I've played it all the way in order for me to talk about it. This game excels in more ways than one. Not just narratively, but mechanically. The atmosphere is so incredibly beautiful, and you just feel immersed every second you run around this world as this cat. One of the things that immediately jumped out to me was how realistic this cat feels playing as. You can hop on just about any horizontal surface to traverse this world, get a better look at things. You can interact with pretty much anything and everyone. Well, pretty much everyone. And as you're traveling through these worlds and through these different chapters of the game, the mechanics that you've learned along the way are they're essentially your best friends. I mean, it's a game that kind of relies on, you know, the player exploring. You know, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say this is open world, absolutely not, but the scope, the sheer scope of the game feels large. And for you to play as a cat and you're feeling so small, the world being so huge, you know, makes you feel that way. And I essentially, so I had no idea how I would start off this video, but I guess I'd start by going through a bit of the narrative. Now, this is going to be a bit of a spoiler, kind of. I obviously won't talk about every single thing. This isn't your traditional review, kind of like my Control review I did. But I will hit on a few story beats that I think make it stand out and how it surprised me along the way. So one of the first things I've noticed when I played is that your cat can't go in water. I don't even think that's to say that cats are like you know, necessarily need a swim mechanic for a game like this, but cats are naturally afraid of water. Well, they're not the biggest fans of it. Additionally, there is a dedicated meow button which you can press even throughout some of the cutscenes that play throughout the game, which I thought was a really cool touch. And it kind of reminds me of the dedicated quack button in the Untitled Goose Game, if you guys have seen or played that. And for me, it was kind of a triumph to play this game. I went through it. And so, to make a short story short, because the narrative is interesting, when you start off, you're with a group of kittens, three of them, and a group of cats, three of them. And you guys are traversing this kind of. The first chapter is called "Inside the Walls." I assume we found out what those walls are later throughout the game, where you're. The city's been closed off and such, so you're traversing your way through with your family, and Roscoe, our little cat, he gets separated from them. He falls down into the abyss, and he lands and he gets hurt. And when he recovers, he finds himself in this abandoned cyberpunk-like city, inhabited by the main kind of enemies in the game called Zurks. They're a bit of a nuisance. They've kind of driven humans and robots alike into fear and away from their homes and such, and kind of taken over. And initially we don't have a way to fight them, so we just kind of run away, and you avoid them. And we come to a place inhabited by these robots, and we meet a character named Momo, who is 1/4 of a group called the Outsiders, who wants to get out of the city walls, and everyone has kind of pretty much given up hope on that ever being possible, until we as a cat all prove them wrong later. So our objective was to find and I guess kind of reunite these characters together in hopes that there's still hope of getting out of these walls and opening up the gates so everyone can get to the outside. Those Momo, Clementine, Balazar, and the Doc, who all have their respective chapters in the game, all equally fun. And my favorite section by far had to have been Clementine's section in Midtown, which is inhabited by, of course, still robot people, but it's a lot more law-abiding. Like, there's sentinels everywhere, which are supposed to be like the cops, and they're just causing mayhem around Midtown, and kind of this authoritarian kind of thing where everything has to be very by the book, and no one's getting outside, and they're there to make sure of that. And but I'm jumping too far ahead. Switching gears, in the beginning we meet a little robot companion named B12. B12 used to be human, but somehow managed to get himself into this, transport himself into like this computer, and himself into a little robot named B12, and he managed to retain some of his memories but not all of them, and that's actually the main collectible that you can choose to collect throughout the game are his memories. I am unaware of what happens once you collect all of them. I've collected a little over 70% of all of them, so I didn't collect all of them my first go around, but I definitely will be looking forward to doing something like that in the future when I play. But I mean, eventually our little buddy, he finds his way, and with the help of B12 and Momo and all these characters we meet along the way, and it's just immense, man. It's beautiful, and I really love this game in a different way, because it really takes a step back from the narrative. There are these moments throughout the game, so many moments throughout the game, where you're just able to feel like a cat and kind of step back from the threat that not only you face but these people face, and do things that only a cat would do. Like, there are multiple areas throughout each chapter where you can scratch a rug or the edge of a couch or the back of a board and just kind of mark your territory. There are some chapters that have pianos in them, and you can step on the pianos and have the keys kind of play the way you want them to. There are puddles and kind of bowls of water, and little like cracks that fill with water that the Roscoe can drink out of and such. And with the dedicated meow button, it gets the attention of whoever's near. Like, even security cameras will shake, and the world, depending on where you are, will react to your meow as if they've never seen or heard anything like you before. There's a few other moments like that throughout the game that really make you feel, you take a step back and you really acknowledge yourself as a cat. And I mean, it's really fun. I mean, and one of the big things is there are moments where you can just lie down, and you can lie down and the cat will fall asleep, or Roscoe will fall asleep, and the camera will pan out and show you the environment and just kind of let you relax and take it all in. As one of the biggest examples was at the beginning of this video, where he's laying next to a character named Maurice, who, if you bring sheet music to, he will play you songs as you lie next to him, and that song will not end. It will play on a continuous loop until you decide to get up. And I thought that was just a great decision. It was a bold decision. It was a great decision. I really liked it. This game consists of puzzles, traversal, you know, and the puzzles, you know, they aren't necessarily difficult, but they're really fun to do. As someone who's played puzzle games and played games like Uncharted, where the puzzles can be, you know, kind of really tense, and, you know, can be really big in scale, and require all these parts, to be something as simple as, you know, as a cat, you have to think like, how limited am I? I can grab things with my mouth and push things over and claw with you know, my paws here, but, you know, that is secondary to the limitations of the game. And I think, you know, it does a great job at balancing those two, as well as the narrative. And I just think mechanically it's great. You know, you can run, you can jump, you crouch automatically. Like I said, you can pretty much interact with every character. I do believe there's button mapping, if you can, you know, so you can assign your preferred buttons to each mechanic in the game. You know, halfway through this video, I really realized that I should probably wrote some footnotes or even a script, because I'm just rambling on about how good the game is. But I did beat it, and it was really something that I really wanted to get off my chest, especially for this video, and to tell all you guys watching this video that, I mean, it's worth it. If you haven't seen gameplay of it, or you haven't played it yourself, I definitely recommend it. Stray doesn't provide, how would I say this, the wanted ending. It provides kind of like the perfect ending, which I won't kind of talk about, but it involves, you know, the overall, like, the goal of the game. You guys eventually get there, and once you get there, it's one of the most powerful things. I try not to keep it too spoilery, but, you know, there is kind of, you know, those moments in there where you just kind of have to let it go. And I think this game is definitely a great example of that. I'm so glad I got to play it. And if you guys haven't played it, definitely go play it yourself. But yeah, I don't want to drag this video on too long. Stray, man, definitely a strong contender for Game of the Year. Absolutely, I think. And I'm gonna stop right there, and let me know what you guys think about the game if you've played it yourself. Let me know if you guys think it'll win Game of the Year, because I definitely will vote for it. But I don't know, we still got a lot more games coming out the rest of this year that I will talk about. But until then, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, comment what you thought about it and what you think about Stray, and until my next video, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.